All right. So as I'm getting ready for this random visit, this one's actually scheduled. And I'm pretty sure this one's going to go through. I hope that it's going to go through. I've got like 2 minutes. I'm trying to pound my lunch down real quick. Caesar salad with the chicken. Damn, that's good. I'm going through comments from the fail video, and I'm trying to find this one comment that I ran across. I can't find it. It was a script. It was like, "Hi, I'm Joe. I'm from After Prison Show." And I wanted to use that specific comment, word for word, for this visit. But because I can't find it, I'm running across plenty of other comments that are saying, to say that you're Joe, you've got a YouTube channel called After Prison Show. That's going to be my opener right there. I'm recording this. I got to coax that part in. I won't say I'm a total random stranger. I'm going to try to do better. So, again, I share this with you guys because after the introductions, just tell these people what you're doing. That's good enough. Tell them about YouTube right off the bat. You got to get more comfortable with them. I'm sharing this with you guys because I'm asking you to comment something, like anything. You give me the script. "Hi, I'm Joe." Like whatever you want me to say. I think that would add to this. Will your comments be the comments that I use to open up with? All right, we got 1 minute. Shit, it's time to go right now. I can't eat no more right now. That mess is going to be hella soggy by the time I get done with this. All right. So this visit is coming to us out of Texas. The fail that we had, a recent fail that we had, was from Texas, actually. And I believe that these guys are in the same housing unit, cell block, whatever. And that's how this guy found out about me. He actually sought me out. His name's Mark. "Hi, I'm Joe. I got a YouTube channel called After Prison Show." All right, we're gonna try to go with that, folks. It's time. Let's see how it goes. Here we go.
How you doing?
Hey, Mark, how you doing?
All right. How about yourself?
I'm doing good. My name is Joe. I've got a YouTube channel. It's called After Prison Show.
Uh-huh.
And what I like to do is is it ringing on your end? Does it sound okay?
Yeah.
Okay. So what I like to do is I like to visit with random people who are locked up and just find out what their time is like. I like to be able to record these visits and use these, but in exchange, you know, I try to send $20 for commissary, or this could be an opportunity for you to possibly gain some pen pal support.
Okay.
So again, there's nothing bad that I'm trying to do with this. I'm not trying to make fun of you or anything like that. I believe that there was another guy in the same housing unit with you who probably told you about me, correct?
Correct.
Yeah, we never got a chance to really explain what I just explained to you. Maybe he thought I was a cop or something like that. But again, I don't come to you from any type of a bad place. I just simply want to hear about you and what the time is like that you're serving.
Okay. Well, I've been here 15 months.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I've been waiting and waiting to go to court. They keep on setting it off and setting it off. I work in the kitchen.
Okay.
That's what well, you're able to have a job. So they gave me a job to work in the kitchen, which I'm a cook. I back in the previous time that I was incarcerated, I had became certified to be to culinary arts. So the prison, this one's just barely been built, and they don't even hand out clothes for the last 3 months. No pants at all. We get shirts, but we don't get the pants.
That's crazy to hear. Is that because of something in relation to COVID, or what's the reason for that?
They don't have none.
Oh, wow.
They don't have none. The ones that you have on they have more shirts and pants.
Is it because they're overcrowded, or that has nothing to do with it neither?
They take the elastic out of it, but that's uncalled for. I mean, come on. I mean, they should replace it.
Yeah.
Come on. They paid I don't know how many millions to build this jail, and they can't supply no pants. And then, especially they're not working the kitchen. Um, they don't. They don't. You hand them your pants, and then they'll come back and give you another pair after a couple of hours.
And like you mentioned, you work in the kitchen, so your clothes is going to get dirtier, or dirty more fast than the next guy's clothes.
Correct.
That's really screwed up to hear about.
Mm-hmm.
Mark, you mentioned that you've been in there for 15 months. If you don't mind me asking, and you don't have to say, what lands you where you are? What are you locked up for?
Was pulled over for supposedly I rolled through a stop sign, and the officer, when he pulled me over, he had told me that I rolled through the stop sign. I had it was in my car, so he had smelled marijuana in the car, and I gave him the marijuana, which I noticed I was in the car whenever I took off. I was going to go buy this game system. So when he had told me to step out of the vehicle, he's going to write me a citation or whatever, and so I did that. I got out of the vehicle, and I kind of feel that my case is kind of messed up because the lawyers I just don't trust. I paid for my lawyer. I paid him $15,000, and because when I got out of the vehicle, I have a bad habit of locking the doors. I mean, when you get out of the vehicle, you're supposed to lock your doors anyway. So when I did that, when I locked the doors, I had left the keys inside the car. So when I got out of the car, he had asked me if he could search the vehicle. And I told him that it wasn't my vehicle, and he told me that he had probable cause. I told him to go get a warrant, and he said he had probable cause because of the marijuana. I said, well, I gave you the marijuana. So then he said, well, I'm going to search it anyways. Well, if you have probable cause, then why did you even ask me, correct?
I've been through, and real quick, Mark, I didn't even get a chance to mention this. I've served 7 years in prison myself, and I've been in a very similar situation to what you're talking about right here. So I totally understand where you're coming from.
So anyways, he went to the vehicle to pursue his search, and he noticed that the car was locked. Now, at this time, I wasn't under arrest. I'm not handcuffed or anything like that. I wasn't being detained. And then he came back and he goes, hey, can you unlock the doors? And I was like, oh, I must have locked the keys inside there. And he got kind of upset, and he told me that I was under arrest. I guess he charged me for the marijuana. So we sit there, and he kept on asking to search the vehicle. He asked me about 8 or 9 times to search the vehicle. And I kept telling him, go get a warrant, go get a warrant. Well, when the tow truck driver comes, this is where it kind of gets kind of weird on my part. When the tow truck driver comes, he told the tow truck driver to unlock my doors, which the tow truck driver doesn't need to unlock the doors to tow the vehicle. He didn't get a warrant. And the tow truck driver, I feel that he didn't have the authority to unlock the door. Now, I could believe that the officer, because I've asked several officers that are police officers, DPS officers, rangers, and they said, well, we would have to call Papa Lock, which is a business here,
right,
which are certified to unlock doors. They are certified to unlock. This Home Motors wasn't certified. I know they're not certified. So what gave them the authority? Just because the officers told you to unlock the doors, you unlock the doors? No, you don't need to unlock the doors to tow the vehicle. So go on, what were you going to say?
Well, I don't mean to jump in here, but I want to real quick and just say, when they popped the doors, was there something else that they found in the vehicle?
Yes. Yeah. There was some methamphetamine in there.
Okay.
There was some in there. And
so without going any further into your case, because I'm not sure whether do you have your time already?
No.
Okay, well, we can just leave it right there. I don't want to hear the ins and outs of your case. It's just not our business, right? But I did want to get a sense of like why you're locked up. You were borrowing somebody's car. You say that you didn't know that there was anything in there, and now you're locked up. You've been in here for 15 months. It's in Texas, marijuana's illegal, correct? And they can lock you up for it.
Okay.
I'm in Virginia, and they just legalized marijuana. So I find it very crazy that I'm in a state where it's legal and you're in a state in the same country where it's illegal. I think that that's totally screwed up right there.
Is it y'all's medical or is it recreational?
It's everything. So we got I think we just got the recreational, but they just passed that. And what they said was if you're locked up for it, nothing changes. So they got to make some more.
I didn't smoke the marijuana because I was on parole already, and that's the reason why I cannot get out because of I was already on parole. So I have a blue warrant, so I got to take care of this charge before my parole.
It's interesting you mentioned blue warrant. I've never heard of that. Here in my state, I think what you're talking about is referred to a PB-15. And is a blue warrant in your state, that just means a probation, a parole violation as well?
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah.
in my state, it's similar to Texas because if you have, I don't know if they're still doing this, but if you have a parole or probation violation, you're automatically, or in most cases, not eligible for a bond.
Correct.
So you've been in there for 15 months over some simple possession. It basically sounds like at the very worst.
Yeah.
And
in a vehicle that didn't belong to me, and
almost an illegal search and seizure.
Yeah, correct.
What is your lawyer telling you? You've got a paid lawyer, are you looking to get out anytime soon? Are you looking at time? Like, what's the lawyer telling you?
I don't go back to court till October.
Man. Well, It's a sad situation that you find yourself in. I'm grateful to get an opportunity to speak with you because, I get to share a story like this with a lot of people who are going to be like, man, this is a messed up situation this guy Mark's in right here.
Yeah. Well, they came at me they're charging my background, which I feel that once you've done your time, that shouldn't be held against you. I mean, if you're a repeat offender, okay. But this is my first time ever with a drug charge. Like I said, it wasn't my car. I mean, did I do drugs? Well, I don't know. I'm not going to say. But if it's your first time for a drug offense, I feel that people should get rehabilitated. Go get help for their drug problems. And I've asked my lawyer, say, hey, you know what? Let me go get a treatment. Why are you going to send somebody to prison to get more connects, to learn how to make dope, or, it's a bad look. If you have a problem with your vehicle, you're not going to just keep on running it until it breaks down. You're going to go get it fixed. So why don't we fix the situation instead of creating more problems with the situation? I mean, that's just my opinion.
No, I totally agree with where you're coming from. And I think that there's going to be a lot of people who get the opportunity to see this that I'm doing with you, who feel the exact same way. Real quick, let me ask you this. Would you be okay with me sharing this on my YouTube channel? I'm guaranteeing,
this is a question I would like to ask you this, or maybe you can look it up, because I don't have nobody out there. I spent every penny that I had on my lawyer. My family, I don't talk to my family. I don't have no friends. I did a lot of things out there. When I got out of prison recently, I went to remodel the Boys and Girls Club, and I got paid $25,000 to redo that. And which I remodeled 4 restrooms, put the toilets, painted, did the flooring, did a lot of work on it, which was to me, it was that I got paid good, but really and truly, it was they really got over on me, which it doesn't matter because I just wanted to help out people, and I felt like I helped them out. But this is what I've been wanting to know, and I don't have no access to people out there. I don't have no access, but I want to know is did the tow truck driver have the authority to unlock the doors? See, I cannot get a straight answer out of that from my lawyer. I can't get that a straight answer out of nobody, because all they sit there and say, we'll have to call the supervisor, but they can't tell me, did the tow trucker have the authority to unlock a locked vehicle?
You know, real quick, I would err on the side of they probably do. They probably have the authority if they run across cars that they have to tow that they need to get into. I don't know. You probably are onto something right there. We got 17 seconds left. Can I do this visit with you one more time?
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to get you right back on here.
All right.
All right.
I'll be waiting.
All right.
Okay.
Bye-bye. Holy cow. This man has a very interesting story, to say the least. I mean, I think this is crazy and definitely offers a lot of perspective and things to think about and things to look into. Can a tow truck driver open a car up for the cops? It sounds like they could, but I don't know. That could, somewhat fall under illegal search and seizure.
Okay.
Hey, Mark. Can you hear me?
Hello? Yeah, I can hear you. Let me see if it...
Yeah, you might need to move the tab.
Yeah. There it is.
Perfect. And let me move this mouse. Again, I appreciate you sharing what you're sharing about your particular case. And let me mention this as well. I said at the beginning of this, that I would be willing to give you $20, just a little, it's not much, but at least something to be able to help you get some commissary items in there. Are they charging?
Just to get hygiene.
Man, are they charging you guys $1 a day to be in there, or do they charge prisoners pay to stay?
No, we don't get paid.
No, not you guys get paid, but let's say, like, for example, here in the state of Virginia, at one jail, they charge prisoners $3 a day. So that's $21 a week. So if I was to send somebody $20, the jail's taking all that money because they owe that money.
Oh, no. So well, the only way they take money is if you get like indigent envelopes or go see medical, and you didn't have no money, they'll take it.
But if I send you $20, you're going to be able to use that money to get some things that you need?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
How do I do it? Do I go to the jail's website where you're at, or is it through here? Do you know?
No, I don't know.
I'll figure it out. I'll be able to look it up and figure it out. But I'll get that to you today. I'll send it to you today, and I'll even send you a message and let you know that I've sent it and figured out how to do it.
Well, see, I can't. Okay, like on this tablet thing, the only way I can check messages is if I had money on the tablet, which I don't have no money.
Well, I'll put some money on the tablet for you as well.
Well, I deeply appreciate it, man.
Well, I know what it's like to be in there with nobody at all. And I've been in that situation myself. So, for your willingness to just, talk to me and share your story here a little bit, I'm willing to do that. That's not a problem at all. And another thing real quick is from people who see this, because there could be a lot of people who see this, there may be a handful of people who reach out to me saying, hey, I'd like to do something for Mark, or I'd like to write him a letter. So if and when that happens, I'll be sure to pass along your information to them. That way they can get in contact with you.
Right. I mean, like I said, I'm more focused working on my case, really. The thing about this tablet right here, which is new to when we moved over here to the jail, was that it had a law library on it. And previous time that I was incarcerated, I had done a lot of time in the law library, and I have been researching the cases on this tablet on the law library, because they give you like some free time to do educational work, and the law library, which they should have charged, they don't charge you for that. They only give you like 30 to 45 minutes so you can at a day to look at it. And I'm looking at cases in the same predicament that I'm in, the same position that I'm in. and none of them have came up with, like I said, the vehicle being locked. If a vehicle, the law states, it's not my law, it's their law. It states that if a closed compartment is locked, that the officer will make a reasonable effort to gain entry. It said the officer. It didn't say find somebody off the streets or the tow truck driver.
That's an
Okay.
interesting point that you bring up right there, because for the longest time back in my heyday when I was getting in trouble, I would hear people say things like, well, if the glove box is locked or if the trunk is locked,
Exactly.
they got to get a warrant for that. So
Yeah.
that's a really
Right.
interesting point that you bring up right there. But let's move on just a little bit, and I'll even try to do a little digging on it just to see what I can find out. But I want to move on to some other stuff. Mark, you mentioned that you were on parole. If you're willing to, what were you, even being vague, if you want to be like that, what originally got you put on parole and sent to prison?
I had bought some stolen property.
So like, okay. So like basically a theft charge or something along them
It was
lines,
a, it
but
was a theft
nothing.
charge between the 20 to 100,000
So that's
because
that's
what I,
nonviolent. Excuse me.
correct.
I'm sorry for interrupt. That's nonviolent. That's not a drug charge. You're in a
Mm-mm.
state where you're not even given the opportunity at this point to become a first-time offender status for drugs.
Right.
And I
Oh,
mean,
let me rephrase that because my previous back in '97, I have had some DWIs.
some DWIs like drunk driving or something like
Back,
that.
yeah, back in the day, I was real bad on alcohol, and one day, it's a weird story. My dad did a real good trick on me, and this is what it was. We went out, we had a few drinks. Me and my dad, we were out at a restaurant, had a few drinks. He went his way, I went my way. Um, he calls me up when I get home. He calls me up and he goes, "Hey," he goes, "I'm getting pulled over. Was I drunk when I left the restaurant?" And I'm like, "No, where you at? Where you at?" And he goes, I'm kind of scared. I've never been in trouble before." And then he hangs up on me. So then I'm like, "Well, what do I do?" So I'm about to leave the house to go look for him. Then he calls me back and he goes, "Where you at?" I go, "I'm at the house." I go, "I'm about to go look for you." I go, "Where you at?" He goes, "Well, I was on my way home. This cop pulled me over." And then I said, he goes, "How do you feel?" And I felt bad, because I was like, "Man, I should have just like took him home or followed him home." And he goes, "No, really, how do you feel?" And I go, "I feel bad." He goes, "How's your heart?" And I go, "Man, it hurts. I'm hurting." He goes, "Now you know how I feel when you would call me in the middle of the night telling me you're going to jail because now there's ain't nothing I can do." And after that moment, I just quit drinking because I never been. That's how my dad taught me. He just put me in that predicament.
Was he really drunk? Did he really get a DUI, or he was just making that up?
He made it all up,
That's interesting.
and
That's a crazy
and
thing to
it
do right
just,
there.
and it just made me like I just stopped drinking because I never realized. I mean, how many people when they're out there, or I don't know if you were young or old when you got in trouble, but did you ever call your parents or mother or father and say, "Hey, I'm going to jail," or wah wah wah?
Absolutely.
And then but what do you want them to do when they're at home where they should be, where you should have been, and their hands are tied behind their back?
Oh,
So,
I've been in that situation. I can certainly relate to what you're saying right there. Mark, you speak a lot of sense. We don't have a whole lot of time right here. What I'm going to do is we're going to finish up this visit. I'll put some money on your kiosk. That way you can check messages, and we'll set up a time to meet again. How about like Monday or something like that, if that's okay?
okay, let me just tell you, the times that I work is between. I go in at 11:30 till 7 o'clock. I get
11,
out by yeah.
11:30 in the morning till 7 o'clock at night.
I'm going to go in about another 30 minutes.
Okay, yeah. So it's getting ready to be 11:30 where you're at. Okay,
Yeah,
so I
and
can
then I
we
don't get out 7 o'clock.
Well, how about we do it again on Monday at this same time that was good for you today, like 10:30 your time.
Yeah, 10 or 10:30. Yeah.
And you'll have some money on your kiosk to be able to check your messages, and I'll keep you updated on some things. I'm
Okay,
gonna, I'm
I
gonna
deeply
turn.
appreciate.
Not a problem at all. Sorry, I don't mean to keep interrupting you. I'm gonna turn this into a video, and I guarantee there's gonna be some people who see this who are like, "Wow, like it's a messed up situation that you're in."
Yeah.
Let me move the conversation along, though, just for the time being. Mark, talk to us about uh, what it's like where you're serving time at. Like, you work in the kitchen. Are you able to eat better because you're working in the kitchen?
I've gotten quite a bit of trouble
Okay.
because they don't want me. Because, like I said, I had done culinary arts, and I know how to cook, or I feel I know how to cook. They don't want me to use. They give you a menu,
Right.
and they don't want me to go over the spices. They want me to have the food bland. People are here just to eat, not to enjoy it, I guess they would say. I had got in trouble for putting like cinnamon in the oatmeals or use too much seasoning. So I'm able to make my whatever we're eating. I'm able to take my food to the side and make me up something. But I feed mostly the kitchen workers. Ask the officer if it's okay, because if you don't ask, you get in trouble. So it's better to ask than to get in trouble.
What kind of perks do you get, if any, for working in the kitchen?
None,
Nothing at all.
nothing. I mean, you get more portions,
Wow.
more portions, and it's not like and most of the people that work in the kitchen or work as laundry trustees is because they don't make store, so they're able, because really and truly you're not getting that much of a portion. I mean, you're getting it to live by, but it's very small.
You're going to be hungry in there.
Yeah, you're going to be hungry, and the commissary is just ridiculously high. I mean, $1 for a soup, for real.
Is that what they're charging? $1 for a ramen noodle soup?
Ramen, $1.09.
Is it a single little ramen noodle pack, or is it the cup?
No, it's the single little pack.
They are making a killing off of that. That is insanity right there.
Yeah, yeah.
What about the jail overall? Like,
Like I told you, they don't hand out the clothes. I mean, if you send them the clothes to get washed, or like, say for instance, when we go to work, they have some clothes there. Okay, they're not even washed in soap. It's a softener. Come on, people get staph. I mean, it's nasty. It's nasty.
how's the COVID situation in there?
It's controlled. It's not. There's nobody sick. At first, when the jail first opened, which I was here, it opened July the 7th. The people that got sick were the ones that were in the kitchen, and it just spread it out through the whole jail.
Because
So
the outside workers were bringing it in, right?
Yeah, the officers, yeah.
You said that jail's only just opened July the 7th. Like, we're talking, it's just July right now. So that jail literally just opened this month?
No, last year.
Okay, oh yeah, you've been there for 15 months. Look, Mark, we only got a minute left. Is there anything that you'd like to say to anybody seeing this about you or yourself? Anything at all you want to leave people with right now?
I really don't know. I mean, I really want to thank you. I mean, I reached out to you because the guy had told me about you, and I was like, well, you know what? You should have shared your story. I mean, they need to know what's going on in here, or I wanted to tell you. So that's why I reached out to you, and I really do thank you, and I'm going to reimburse you once I get out.
Don't even worry about that, man. I want to see you get beyond this situation. We ain't got but 20 seconds left. Let me say this. As soon as we get off here, I'll figure out how to get the money on your kiosk and get $20 to you. And then on Monday, I'll visit you again around this same time, okay?
All right.
Hey,
You have
Mark.
a blessed.
Thank you, man. Keep your head up, and I'll talk with you soon, all right?
All right. Thank you very much, sir.
Take
All right,
care. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Well, first thing I want to say is I used the opening line that you guys told me to use, and it worked. So thank you guys for that. And then the second thing that I want to say is what a pretty wild story. You know, here's a guy who's sitting in there for a weed charge and some meth, driving a car that was not his. The car was locked. The police wanted to look in the car. They used a tow truck driver to open the car. And he's been in there for 15 months. For the love of God, how much time do you got to do for some simple possession stuff right there? And I just think that that's super crazy. If anybody's interested in wanting to correspond with Mark or possibly try to help him out in some form or fashion, definitely send me an email and I'll put you in contact with him. And I wrap this up letting you guys know that was a really successful random visit right there. And shout out to Mark doing what he can to get by in a messed up situation, in a messed up state that's going to smoke your boots over something maybe kind of small. Crazy. Have a great one, and I'll talk with you soon.